Morning all, it's a windy morning this morning, and but it's a nice morning. It's spring, isn't it? Spring is in the air, as it were. Anyway, today's job is I'm doing a bit of chain arrowing. It's always seasonal. We're starting into the spring stuff now. Chain arrowing, a bit of rolling maybe. Rollers behind me. Don't know whether I'll do any rolling this year. Chain arrowing anyway is to just basically freshen up the grass, spread any muck, molehills, everything. I put some muck on some fields a while ago. It needs spreading out and just stopping it forming a cap just over the grass. So I'm going to do that now. This is the chain arrows I bought at the farm sale. Let me just show you me bidding on it. Here we go.
Got £200, 220, 250, 280, at 280 bid, 300, 320, at 320 bid, 320 order, and 320, 350, at 360, 360, 370, 380, 380, 90, 400, at 410, at 410 bid, at 410, 420, 430, both out here, 440 will live, 440, 450, 450, 460, 470, 470, 80, 480 bid, at 480 done this time, 480, 90, 490, 500, 500 bid, at £500 I sell them, go then 10, 510, at 510, stick with them sir, 520, 520 bid, at 520 I sell them, go then, at 520 they go to the funky farmer at 520. Do you have a number, right. Funky farmer?
So that was me bidding on the chain arrows at the sale. I think it was 500 and something quid, wasn't it? Which one bags? I sold the old one for 250. So happy days. Anyway, I also got the kids painting it, which was brilliant. Here we go, here's me painting it with the boys. It'll try a sort of grey blue.
You said it was green.
Well,
it looks green.
Make your mind up.
It looks green.
Yeah, it's not grey, is it?
This isn't grey, this is navy.
Painter boys, painter boys.
You have to do that.
Quality, well done. I bet you're glad you're wearing the gloves, Jack, aren't you?
Yes, Harry. It's very good.
Right, let's see how much Harry ends up with it on him later.
Nothing.
What'll happen is it'll run down there eventually.
No, because I'm good at this.
So there we go. It's painted up. It looks good now. Let's just have a quick look at it. So there is, it's second hand. I had to weld up that Farmer Bodge welding. There is some wear in the links. A bit more wear than I anticipated. But I think it's going to be all right for the amount I'm going to use it. This will probably see me for another 10 years, and the frame is really solid, so we can always change the bed and not worry about the frame. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with how it is at the moment. I'm going to go and put this out, go out with the McCormick now. Here we go. Basically, for 250 quid, I can't go wrong, can I? When you take into account I've got rid of the old one. So realistically, I'm just going to go out, take this out and get chain arrowing. Oh, just before I head out, I thought I'd just show you a bit of spring is here. Look, even though it's windy, look. We've got the celandines out. They're nice. Love a celandine. But also, I'm by the pond. There is a bit of frog spawn in it. Oh, it's so windy, I hope you can hear me. The frog spawn, I moved some the other day because I was worried about it. There it is. Oh look, there is actually more here than there was the other day. There's one clump there, and then going on there's 4 big clumps there. Can you see that? 5 clumps there, 1 there. So that's good news. Right. Okay, going in a minute. Always good to see a bit of frog spawn. That is always a wonderful sign that spring is here. Anyway, let's crack on. Right, I'm heading on down to what we call third ground, which is third ground from the farm, and I'm just looking in front of me. Actually, I can see, I'll turn around in a minute, massive blooming ash trees come down. This typical, more work for me. This is a tree that had been split in half for flipping donkey's years. It's a miracle it hadn't been down before. Right, I'm just going to spin the camera and look, I've got the chain arrows through there. Look at this. Oh. Right, we're going to get out. I'm going to drop the chain arrows down on the side, put them out. We'll have a look at what I'm dealing with on the field. Let's just put that down there. And we'll have a look at this ash tree, which I wasn't quite expecting really. Well, as I said, it's been something that's been probably going to go for years, but the wind finally took it. Let's have a look. Here we are then. Look at this. More ivy than ash. Look at that. God, the amount of ivy. Look at that. Oh, what a shame. Let's have a look in here. Oh, we've cleared the fence all right. Look, rotten in the middle. Most ashes go rotten in the middle. Split down. The split. Can you see that split? Look. See daylight through from the other side. That had been like that for years, but it actually didn't split that bit. It's gone round here. But it was going to go. I mean, the other bit's going to go regicide at some point. That's a shame. I think the thing is, as much as it's a shame with the tree going, it's the cover for the wildlife, because that ivy and stuff is brilliant for the barn owls and the tawny owls and stuff. And as you can see, well, certainly over this side, once you look over Regis, it's a long way to another tree. Right over by the railway line. Different sort of farm in there. Plenty of trees on our side, and that's why you got to keep having new trees being planted, because it's no good leaving the old ones, because they're all going to go eventually. I keep banging on about this, but if you're a farmer with trees on your farm, do the right thing and put a few new ones in every now and then, or let a few new ones grow up, because these old girls, and I'll call it a girl, might be a boy, these old girls won't last forever. And then what have you got? You've got a bleak, soulless farm without a tree. Right, let's have a look at the chain arrow. Right, so here we go. Here we go. Here's some muck. Here's some muck I did earlier, and it's a good example. Look, so look, it's sort of capped on the ground. So me going over that, I'm just going to spread that about a bit. It's not too much on there. So let's go and have a look. So we got. I just had a little practice run, didn't film it. Got the spikes here, and they are going to break all that up. Look, they're already worn smooth. Someone did say, oh, you got your chain arrows on the wrong way. I don't know if it's this one or the other way, but looking online, that seemed to be the right way. So I'd be interested to see what some of you think. I know everyone's got an opinion on eBay, on YouTube's eBay. I said eBay because I was just looking at the price chain arrows on eBay, and I think these are actually quite good value at 500 quid. Yeah, everyone's got an opinion on what things should be right. So I looked on a picture, and it seems to think that these are facing the right way. But I'm sure someone will tell me different. Right, ready? Ooh! Crikey. Be careful that doesn't land on your foot. Right, let's just do the other one and then we'll head off. Well, you can see when I put the side down on that last bit on the video, the actual the side just clunked down really quick, and I'm not used to that because the old chain arrows were so stiff because it had sort of seized up a bit. So I was kind of expecting it to be like that, and then when it suddenly clunked down really quick, I was like a bit caught unawares. Anyway, we can see down here, I'm not taking it fast. This isn't a job about going fast. I'm doing 4.5 miles per hour if you want to know, which you could probably walk faster than that. So I'm going to go up and down. Quite a nice job. I quite like a job like this, to be honest. You don't get many jobs on the farm where you can go steady. I've missed Popmaster, disaster, missed Popmaster. The radio, I'm in the big McCormick, the radio in the other tractor, it doesn't work. You might have seen a post I put on Facebook the other day. I don't know what's happened, it's some sort of short circuit or something. The on light came on, but no light came on. So, oh, there's a hare. There is one left then. We've got one hare left, bearing in mind that the flipping poachers have been numerous times. People said to me, oh, why do you put that on Facebook that you've got a hare? But the thing is, they're coming anyway, they're everywhere. The certain lovely people who like going on holiday a lot, let's put it that way. I've also got a deer problem. We might stop and look at that in a minute. We've got holes in the hedge, which I'm going to have to fence, a lot more fencing down this field here, because oh look, can you see my chain arrows? I got to do a lot more fencing because the cows are just realistically going to go through those holes made by the deer. Right, anyway, I'm going to stop in a minute when we get to that hole in the hedge. God, I'm looking at it now, I can see it over there. I really ought to clean my window, shouldn't I? We'll stop when I get by it, but there's not much hedge left now. They've been treating it like a motorway. Oh, wildlife. Everyone loves wildlife, everyone needs wildlife, but sometimes they're a bit of a problem. Right, and I got a lot of work to do around here. Felled tree, fallen trees, fencing. My list never grows shorter. Right, crack on. Right, let's just get out and have a look. Right, stop again. I can't keep stopping. I've got to get on with the work, but I'll just stop you and show you the deer motorway. Here we go. Look at this. Oh my life! I've got hardly any hedge left. What bit was there is pretty thin now. It wasn't like this last year. They're basically going. Look at that, straight through there and here. I mean, the hedge wasn't the best hedge to start with, but they've trashed it. I mean, that's not stock proof now. I'm gonna have to put a wire fence all the way down here. Oh, let's pick an old silage sheet as well. I don't know where that's blown from. Put that in the bin later. Right, I'll just show you this other tree. So these are my replacement trees for that ash tree that's down there. I'm walking a bit funny, I got a bit bad back. So, planted this oak tree here probably 20 years ago as a little sapling in the hedge. Look, it's not the straightest, it's not very upright, but that doesn't really matter. Fenced it, the fence is rotted out. I need to move that now, that's got to go for firewood. The hedge is actually the blackthorn, because I fenced round it, the blackthorn has grown out to fill that gap, that fenced area. See, it's always trying to creep out from the hedge. It's actually filled here. naughty blackthorn. When I take that down, I will cut the hedge, the blackthorn back, but at least I got a nice oak tree. And it takes a bit of time because you've got to trim around it. That bit of hedge you couldn't reach with a hedge trimmer, so that's left, but that doesn't really matter. It gives a bit more cover for the birds. So yeah, so that's why it's a classic example of what you've seen down there with that fallen ash. Classic example of why you've got to put in some new stuff all the time to generate and keep going. Like I said, a farm without trees is a farm without soul. That's my opinion. We'll have it on a t-shirt. Don't know what you lot think, but I couldn't work in a place with no trees. I love them. I love my trees. I do. Right. Crack on, let's get on. Come on, baby. Let's go chain arrowing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, there we go. God dear. Oh, crunch, crunch, munch. Let's go. Come on. I can't believe it's clouded over. It was nice earlier, blue sky earlier, now it's all gone grey. Anyway, this is going nicely. I have to say, I'm quite pleased with this purchase. The old one, the freight, I'm going a bit fast then. The old 5.1 miles an hour, I can't have that. The old trimmer, what am I talking about? I'm talking double Dutch now. The old chain arrow, the frame was actually rotted out. The links were warm, but the frame was rotted. There wasn't many more years on it. I looked at patching it, and the guy who bought it for me is going to patch it. But the thing is, you probably know what my welding's like. And I looked at it and thought, A, my welding's not great, but the thing is as well, it's the sheer amount of time I would have had to spend on it. If you got every weekend off, it's a lovely little project to do. But for me, you know, look at those trees that have come down. I can't afford to spend a weekend doing, or a day doing welding on a chain arrows when I got a day's worth of logging there. Incidentally, update on the little chainsaw. You haven't seen me after I looked at that. I thought I can't fix it myself. I couldn't get it to fire up. I actually took it to an agent to look at, and they came back and said it's knackered, mate. There was scoring in the piston ring. In the piston, so realistically I've got to get a new chainsaw. So that one there, that little 025 steel has had its day. It's a bit of a shame. I've got to replace it because I've got a lot of logging to do. Anyway, I'm cracking on with this. We'll have a little look at the end. It's a bit of a shame because I was hoping to get the kids on this for half term, and then half term came and I just wasn't ready to do chain arrowing because I had so many other things I was doing. In fact, this tractor was still on the hedge trimmer, so because it was still on the hedge trimmer, didn't have a spare tractor really on the chain arrows. I suppose I could have put a 265 on these, but it's not the most comfortable thing for the lads to drive. Obviously not Harry driving because he's not 13 yet. Obviously. So yeah, so they missed out. Driving, doing the chain arrowing, and so it's down to me because this is a lovely lad's job. If you're a young lad, 13 or something, and you're learning to drive a tractor, this is a nice thing to get on because you get out there, you get a bit of an experience, and also you'll get a bit of confidence of being left on your own to do a job, and that's what it's all about, really. You know, you don't start at 13 by going mowing. Or I wouldn't advise it because there's so many things that can go wrong, not least losing your fingers if you don't know what you're doing. But if you go out chain arrow rolling, They're pretty steady jobs. You got to be a bit careful, you know, if it's on a hill. Oh dear, excuse me again. But I learned, that's how I learned. I'm sure my dad put me on the tractor and went, go and roll that field. Because what's the worst can happen? You miss a bit. Anyway, we'll have a look at the end packing up, but I'm sure you'll see the boys on here one day. The other interesting thing to note is that some things aren't worth buying second hand because they're knackered and they're not worth having, but something like this, you see I'm doing this chain iron here. I'm going to finish this afternoon. I'm not going to do any more now after this field, but I've got another half day tomorrow and then that's it. So realistically I'm probably looking at a day and a half chain hour in a year. So for a piece of machinery that then just sits in the field, it's just not worth it. So a good second-hand set, which I think this is okay, are better than me having a grand and a half sat in a field for 364 days a year, if you know what I mean. Right, start your order. Oh, too many late nights. Right, crack on, we'll catch up at the end when I fold up. I'm ready to pack up. I've got to get back. I've just had a call. Someone's just dropping a delivery. I think it's a maize seed arriving at the farm, so I've got to go back and get that in the shed out of the way because it does look like it might rain. The bloke's just left it in the yard, which I told him to do, but I need to go and shift that. So I'm just going to fold up. I've got a little bit more to do here. I'll do that another day. So I'm just going to park up a minute and put the sides up and then we're done. But as a day going chain iron, I don't mind it. In fact, anything, I'm actually quite warm in here now. I haven't got any heating on, but it's just the sort, I've been out of the cold, I'm wearing thick clothes, I'm not used to actually being in the warm-ish. Right, let's pull in. Let's pull into the hard shoulder on the funky farmer motorway. Right, now what I got to do is I got to judge it. I got to lift it up just high enough to lift, but not too high to make it difficult, because if it's right on the ground it's hard to lift up. If it's too high it's hard work. Right, let's go and do this. There you go. That wasn't too bad, was it? It folded up nice. You see what I mean about it's loose? The old one was really stiff. Right, I'm right out of here. So long, suckers! Crack on.